Hey everyone! If you're like me, you might be wondering, where have I been? Well, for the past year, I've been doing a lot of commercial projects, which means I can't really share that much. Now, commercial work is great, but it usually involves an NDA and a lot of hush-hush. So I've been really confused about how to share what I'm doing online. But that's all about to change. So here's the story. 5 months ago, South African wildlife warrior and TV host James Currie gave me a call. Now, James and I had met back in 2016 by complete luck while I was photographing for the University of Miami shark tagging team. Woo! His daughter was a participant on an expedition, and she told me her dad did wildlife TV and was picking her up at the end of the trip. So at the end of the day, I walked down the dock, shook his hand, and gave him my elevator pitch. I really wanted to work with him. To prove it, I took him out to lunch the next week. I picked his brain about his career, but then I heard nothing. Fast forward 4 years. James cold calls me on a Friday night and asks to see some of my recent work. So I sent it over. Next, he tells me he's starting a new show sponsored by Nikon and asks if I want to come on board. I said, hell yeah. So here we are. Welcome to a wild connection. Think Anthony Bourdain travel show meets David Attenborough wildlife documentary. We'll be taking you from the valleys of Yellowstone to the jungles of Guyana, the icebergs of Patagonia to the savannas of Zimbabwe, all in an effort to help bridge the gap between humans and our natural world. So what am I actually doing? Well, I'm directing, filming, and editing the whole shebang, as well as running our social media channels. So please be nice in the comments. Our first episode highlights Isla Isabel, which is off the west coast of Mexico in an area called Riviera Nayarit. It's a national park and it's super important to nesting seabirds, particularly the blue-footed booby. To tell the story, we team up with world-renowned chef and host of MasterChef Mexico, Betty Vasquez. And through her voice, we learn why the blue-footed booby is so important to this region and to the ecosystem as a whole. So you're gonna be seeing a lot more wildlife around here. And the best part is, we're in control. So I'm gonna be sharing the craziness of these adventures as they happen. The world is a little different right now. I was able to film the first 3 episodes back in February, and we'll be sharing those over the next few months. As things become safer, we'll resume our production internationally and bring you on the craziest adventure of our lives. So check out our website at www.awildconnection.com, our Instagram at @awildconnection, and our Facebook page at A Wild Connection. There you'll find all sorts of information about the show, wildlife, gear we use, and even some live streaming cameras from all around the world. The very first episode premieres this Sunday at 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Until then, I encourage you, go out into the wild and get connected.
As humans, we tend to think of ourselves as separate from or above other animals. But we might not be that different from our animal cousins. We've become separated from the natural world, and it's time to reconnect. This is A Wild Connection.